You know what's wild? Right now, this moment, you're standing at the edge of the greatest shift in human history. A shift where those who learn to harness the power of AI and technology won't just get ahead, they'll redefine what's possible. And I want you to feel that in your gut. Not as a concept, not as a trend, but as a calling. Because if you're here listening to this, there's a part of you that knows you were meant to do more than just run a business. You were meant to build a legacy. And this era of AI is your advantage. Most entrepreneurs don't fail because of a lack of ideas. They fail because they're operating from an outdated map. They're trying to win a 2025 game with 2010 tools. And today, I want to wake something up inside you, the part of you that remembers you were built for the impossible, the part of you that's hungry, relentless, unstoppable. Because AI isn't here to replace you. It's here to amplify you, to take the very best of who you are, your vision, your drive, your creativity, and scale it beyond anything you've ever imagined. But listen, this only works if you're willing to step into a new identity, what the identity of the entrepreneur who doesn't wait for the world to tell them what's coming, who anticipates, leverages, and leads, the identity of someone who sees technology not as a threat, but as a partner. Someone who doesn't say, why is this happening? But asks, how do I use this to create something extraordinary? Because the truth is, AI doesn't care about your past. It doesn't care about your failures, your fears, your doubts, your excuses. It doesn't care what your family thinks, what society expects, or what you've been told about your potential. What AI does care about, if technology can care, is momentum, direction, purpose. The decisions you make in the next year will set the tone for the next decade of your life. So let me ask you, what would happen if you stopped waiting? What would happen if you decided that instead of being intimidated by AI, you were going to master it? What if you became the kind of entrepreneur who uses AI to anticipate customer needs before they even speak them, to automate the tasks that drain your energy, to free your mind for creativity, strategy, and impact? What if you allowed yourself to dream in a way you haven't in years? Because now you have tools that compress time, multiply output, and obliterate limitations. You see, technology is neutral. It's a mirror. It reflects your leadership, your discipline, your courage. In the right hands, AI becomes leverage, the kind that bends reality, the kind that shrinks the distance between where you are and where you want to be. But in the wrong hands, hands that are hesitant, fearful, reactive, it becomes a missed opportunity. And opportunities like this don't come often. I want you to imagine your business 2 years from now. Imagine waking up in the morning and knowing that your systems are already working before you take your first breath of the day, that your content is being created, your customers are being nurtured, your data is being analyzed, what your decisions are being sharpened. Imagine AI as the partner that never sleeps, never gets tired, never gets emotional, never needs a break. A partner that magnifies your strengths and shields your weaknesses. Now imagine yourself as the architect of that machine, not overwhelmed by it, not confused by it, but empowered by it. That is the version of you I'm talking to right now. The version that already knows you're capable of more. The version that's been waiting for permission to step into the next level. This is your permission. But I'm going to challenge you, because the entrepreneurs who win in this era won't be the ones who simply use AI. They'll be the ones who integrate it into their psychology, into their habits, into their identity. They'll be the ones who understand that the real advantage isn't the tool, it's the mindset of the person wielding it. Are you willing to become that person? Because if you are, this summit, this moment could be the turning point. This could be the day you stop playing small. This could be the day you stop being intimidated by technology and start leveraging it like the force multiplier it is. This could be the day you reclaim your hunger, your vision, your power. Entrepreneurs don't wait for the future. They build it. And AI is the most powerful building tool humanity has ever created. The question isn't whether it will change your life. The question is whether you'll step up and use it to transform everything you touch. And if you're ready, then the advantage is yours. AI as the ultimate leverage tool for entrepreneurs isn't just an idea, it's a fundamental shift in how you create, operate, and grow. When you think about leverage, you think about extending your reach, amplifying your impact, multiplying the force behind every action you take. For decades, entrepreneurs have searched for tools that could help them move faster, think clearer, and produce more without burning out. But nothing, not automation, not outsourcing, not digital marketing, comes close to the level of leverage that AI gives you right now. It's not incremental improvement, it's exponential. It's not about working harder or even smarter. It's about expanding what's humanly possible by merging your strengths with a tool that enhances every part of your entrepreneurial DNA. Imagine waking up with your ideas already drafted, your messages organized, your strategies outlined. Not because someone else did it, but because your AI systems anticipated what you needed before your day even started. Imagine multiplying your content output, your marketing precision, your customer engagement without multiplying your workload. That's the power of true leverage. AI gives you the ability to scale your genius, not your stress. It gives you the capacity to execute at a level that matches your ambition, not your limitations. It becomes the silent engine behind everything you do, giving you back the most valuable resource on earth, time. And the entrepreneurs who master time are the ones who create breakthroughs. But the real leverage isn't just in automation, it's in amplification. AI takes the raw material of your creativity and stretches it further than you could alone. It can take one idea and expand it into a campaign, a message, a strategy, a product outline, a customer experience. It can help you see what your audience wants before they even know they want it. It extracts clarity from chaos. It brings structure to overwhelm. It sharpens decision making by giving you insight, patterns, and predictions that used to take weeks or months to gather. And when your decisions improve, your outcomes transform. When your outcomes transform, your confidence expands. And when your confidence expands, you start executing like someone who understands they're playing a much bigger game. Think about the tasks that drain you, the tasks that pull you away from your zone of genius. Writing copy, organizing data, analyzing feedback, planning content, researching new ideas, managing communication. These are necessary for growth, but they often pull you away from the strategic, creative, high-impact work that truly grows a business. AI removes that friction. It becomes the teammate that never gets tired, never gets overwhelmed, never slows down. It frees you to operate from your strengths instead of being buried in your weaknesses. And when you operate from your strengths consistently, your business stops feeling heavy and starts feeling aligned. That alignment creates momentum. And momentum is everything. AI also gives you leverage and consistency. Most entrepreneurs have the vision, but struggle with the discipline of consistent execution. Not because they lack desire, but because they lack capacity. AI becomes the capacity you've been missing. It helps you stay present everywhere, on every platform, in every message, with every customer, without fragmenting your energy. It keeps your brand alive even when you're resting. It keeps your voice active even when you're silent. It keeps your business moving even when life pulls you in another direction. That's not just leverage, that's liberation. Liberation from overwhelm. Liberation from bottlenecks. Liberation from being the only engine in your business. And the most powerful form of leverage AI offers is the ability to compete at a level that used to be reserved for massive companies with huge teams and giant budgets. One entrepreneur with a clear vision and AI-backed systems can now outperform organizations 10 times their size. You can create at scale, respond at scale, innovate at scale, and experiment at scale. You can test more ideas in a month than most businesses test in a year. You can pivot faster, learn faster, and implement faster. The advantage is no longer about resources, it's about resourcefulness. And AI maximizes resourcefulness. It levels the playing field for those willing to use it with intention, courage, and discipline. When you understand that AI isn't here to replace your value, but to multiply it, you begin to see it as the greatest leverage tool of your entrepreneurial lifetime. Building an AI-empowered identity begins long before you open any tool or learn any prompt. It starts in the mind. It starts with the internal shift where you stop seeing yourself as someone trying to catch up with technology and start seeing yourself as someone who leads with it. Because the truth is, AI doesn't just introduce new tools, it demands a new version of you, a version who is adaptable, curious, bold, and unafraid of transformation, a version who understands that in a world where technology evolves daily, the greatest competitive advantage is not knowledge alone, but the mindset that embraces continuous evolution. When you adopt that mindset, AI stops being intimidating and becomes empowering. It stops being a threat and becomes your greatest ally. Most entrepreneurs think the challenge of AI is technical, but the real challenge is psychological. It's the resistance to change. It's the fear of not being good enough, fast enough, smart enough to keep up. It's the attachment to old methods that once worked but no longer match the speed of the world. And identity is what keeps people stuck. If you see yourself as someone who's not tech savvy, then every AI tool becomes a barrier. If you see yourself as someone who only creates in a certain way, then you limit what AI can amplify. But if you shift your identity, everything changes. When you decide you are a learner, you learn faster. When you decide you are adaptable, you adapt easier. When you decide you are a creator, you create more freely. Identity is the foundation, and AI simply expands what you allow yourself to become. An AI-empowered identity means you stop relying on old patterns of effort and start relying on new patterns of leverage. You move from being the person who tries to manage everything manually to the person who orchestrates systems. You move from being the entrepreneur who burns out trying to handle every detail to the visionary who designs processes that operate without constant supervision. You become more of a strategist and less of a firefighter because AI shifts your role. It elevates you. It pushes you into higher level thinking, deeper creativity, sharper decision making. But only if your identity matches the level of power that AI brings to the table. This identity also requires that you stop seeing mistakes as failures and start seeing them as data. AI works through iteration. It refines through testing. It learns by trying again. Many entrepreneurs fear experimenting because they fear wasting time or messing things up. But an AI-empowered identity embraces experimentation. It understands that every test, every attempt, every version brings clarity. It values learning over perfection. It values momentum over hesitation. The entrepreneurs who thrive in this tech-driven era will be the ones who test more ideas, refine more quickly, and adapt more easily than anyone else around them. And part of this identity is emotional mastery. AI can multiply your strategy, your output, your efficiency, but it cannot manage your fear. That part is yours. The fear of being replaced, the fear of not understanding enough, the fear of falling behind, the fear of being judged for embracing something new, all of it is emotional resistance, not technical difficulty. When you build an identity grounded in courage and curiosity, those fears lose power. You start approaching new tools with excitement instead of anxiety. You start seeking solutions instead of questioning your ability. You start acting like someone who leads, not someone who follows. That emotional shift is just as important as any technical skill you'll ever learn. An AI-empowered identity also expands your sense of possibility. It forces you to ask bigger questions. Instead of thinking, how do I get this done? You begin thinking, how far can I take this? Instead of thinking, how do I keep up? You start thinking, how do I set the pace? AI gives you the ability to scale ideas, messages, systems, and strategies faster than ever before. When your identity grows to match that level of potential, you stop limiting your goals to what you alone can produce. You start dreaming based on what you can build with amplified power. You start creating from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. You start making decisions from possibility, not fear. This identity also includes discipline, not rigid discipline, but purposeful discipline. The discipline to learn consistently, even when it's uncomfortable. The discipline to use the tools instead of falling back into old patterns. The discipline to stay adaptable instead of becoming attached to one way of doing things. AI rewards the entrepreneurs who keep moving forward, keep learning, keep refining. Your identity must include that willingness to evolve continuously. In a world shifting this fast, adaptability is not optional, it's survival. And for leaders, it's a superpower. Ultimately, building an AI-empowered identity is about becoming the kind of entrepreneur who doesn't just survive technological change, but drives it. The kind of person who understands that AI is not here to replace your humanity, but to elevate it. The kind of person who uses AI as a mirror, a multiplier, a catalyst. The kind of person who steps boldly into the future and leads others with confidence, clarity, and vision.